Hi crafters, I'm Verna from StampinNotes. Welcome to my channel. It's Tuesday evening, August 5th, 2025, and I'm coming live to you from my studio in Western New York. I have a beautiful class to share with you featuring the Inspiring Imperfections Bundle, and actually it's a Kintsugi Impressions Suite. So I can talk a little more about that in a minute, but I want to let you know that there is a fabulous sale going on right now. It is the 2025-2027 in color product sale. I am sorry, these are not the in colors. I was almost out of colored ink, so I believe these are supposed to be orange shades. So anyways, that's what the deal is with that. I am gonna just mute myself on my computer here. If you're watching, say hi. Let me know you can hear me okay. Say hi, tell me where you're from. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for about 10 years, and I just love it. And I live in Western New York, in the country. I'm a farm girl. We have a farm, and today is a gorgeous day here in Western New York. We are getting a little bit of haze and smoke from wildfires in Canada. So I'm on here every Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then off and on through the week and on Instagram. And then I will upload this to YouTube. So that's going on, the In Colors products. If you are a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and for those of you on my team, you will get your discount in addition to this 15% off. So it's a great deal. If you have a long wish list, you should buy the starter kit because you can pick anything you want for $99. You get to pick $125 worth of product, and you can pick whatever you want, and you get a discount. A shopping discount. I would love to have you on my team. You get to meet and work with other demonstrators who have the same likes. Hey Lisa, my friend from Ontario. So nice to have you on here. And by the way, I want to show you guys this beautiful card that Lisa sent me with the paper pumpkin kit. It's gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? I just think that is just gorgeous. So, thank you, Lisa. And if your paper pumpkin is a kit that comes to your door once a month, it's a subscription. If you're interested in that, you can sign up for it in my online store or in Lisa Tabor's online store in Canada, if you're from Canada. So anyways, I wanted to show you that beautiful card. Also, last week, Nancy Bankert shared, and Nancy, you won the Fields in Bloom stamp set. I've never used this. It's retired now. So let me know. I know your address, Nancy, because you're in my... You get a lot of my kits, so thank you so much for sharing. This week, if you share, you will be put in it for a drawing of Pick a Season. This is a brand new, this came out during Celebration. I never used it, it's brand new. And so you can change your tree to different seasons. And that is this week's prize if you share. So anyways, Nancy, you won the Fields in Bloom. Somehow my phone is hanging here. Let me fix that. Okay, so let's get back to our Inspiring Imperfections. This is a stamp set. And here's the dies. I'm missing one of the small dies that looks like this, but what's really nice is you can die cut a lot of these shapes from the designer series paper. And I'll show you the designer series paper in a minute that goes with this. There's also in the suite an embossing folder And this is the embossing folder. I used some of that tonight. You can see the pattern better right here for that. And there's also these gems. They're called flower accents. And so my ordering special this week is you will get the kits to make one of each of the projects I'm going to show you tonight. If your order is $50 or more this week in my online store, your cardstock and DSP will be pre-cut for you. You will need this bundle to make your cards, to finish them, or you could use another bundle that you have. And if your order is $75 or more, you will get a pack of these beautiful gold flower accents. Okay? Hey, Mom. Hi, Lisa Parsons. And nice to see you ladies on there. So we're going to start let me show you the DSP really quick. Oh, I brought it over here so I know where it was, and I've cut it up quite a bit. But here's a lot of the vases that will, and shapes that will work with the dies. These flowers will, the vases will. And Kintsugi is a Japanese technique in pottery where they take something that's broken and they put it back together and they fuse the edges with gold. Isn't that beautiful? So it's basically like something like that, and it's called Kintsugi. And here's more of the pattern. There's a beautiful petal pink, misty moonlight, cloud cover. Here's another sheet of that. Here's this large piece here, and there's more that I've cut up. This is really pretty. So anyways, you get a lot of different patterns in this with touches of gold. So for our first card, I'll show you what the first card that we're going to do looks like. And it is this one right here. This is a fun fold card. And it opens like that. If you wanted to, you could adhere the sides here and make this a gift card holder. Okay. Hey, Nancy. Nancy, you won, I don't know if you heard me, but you won the Fields in Bloom. So I'll be sending that to you. Thank you for sharing last week. All right, so let's get this baby put together here. And we're going to start with a piece of Misty Moonlight. And this is 4 1/4 by 11. And we're going to score this in 2 places. Let me get my directions here. And my trimmer. Because I got to score that. Okay. All right, so we're going to score this at, oh, Nancy, that's fine. I'll send it, I'll look and send it to someone else then. So, no problem. Okay, so we are going to score this at, I don't know where the paper is. I wrote it down on. Okay, we're going to score it at 2. You never know. I always feel like I'm prepared for a Facebook Live, and then, you know, there's always something that it comes up missing, or, you know, scored at 2 and 7 1/2. All right. You just never know. All right, and we'll set this aside. And we'll burnish these folds here like this. Okay, and we have a piece of designer series paper we're going to put down here. And I believe it is 1 3/4 by 4. Let me grab it here. We're going to put some of that pretty petal pink down there. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Roxanne. Welcome. Nice to have you ladies here. Let's see, what else has been going on here? I had grandchildren this weekend, and that was busy. We went to our youngest, one of our young granddaughter's soccer games last night. She is 6, and that was fun to watch her play. All right, so we're gonna put another piece of designer series paper. I'm gonna use this pretty paper here with that gold and blue. And this is 4 by 3 1/4. I like this card pattern because it's easy to make a gift card holder from it if you want to. And what you want to do is make sure that these are lined up. All right, they look like they're pretty well lined up. And on the inside, we have a piece that's 5 1/4 by 4 of basic white. Oh, Nancy, you do like it. Okay. I thought you were talking about the stamp set. All right. Okay, here we go. And I don't have this quite centered. I'm going to move over just a little bit. No, that's kind of the other way. Okay, we're going to leave it like that. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Roxanne. Oh, it's so nice to have you here. Roxana, sorry. I know, it is great memories with grandkids. That's for sure. My son and daughter-in-law are building a new home, and part of that home arrived today, so that's exciting for them. I'm going to layer another piece up inside here. You don't have to add another piece here, but I'm going to do that. You could leave it just the cardstock. This glue holder is from My Sweet Petunia, and it's great if you have arthritis. And also, I really like it because it gives just a thin stream of adhesive to it, and it's nice that way. All right, so we're going to layer this on the front, and this is die cut with a perennial postage dies. This is a piece of petal pink cardstock, and I have a piece of the basic white cardstock, and I've embossed it with that embossing folder. What is the name of that again? It is Join Together 3D embossing folder. So I'm just going to adhere this onto this. Well, welcome, Lisa. Your first time too. Hi, Jennifer from Sunshine Coast of Australia. Welcome. Yeah, the paper is beautiful. I'm going to be giving a class. I'll show you guys. It's going to be a craft along class for using blues, making a mini album, and I'm using this paper plus the blue kit. I can't think of the name of it right now, but you guys probably would remember what one I'm talking about. But I'll show you the album in a few minutes. I haven't advertised it yet. I've got to decide on a date. It's going to be a craft along, and then craft along, and if you can't make the craft along, you'll be able to watch the replay on YouTube. I'm missing my scissors. Here they are. So, all right, so we're going to wrap this around our layers here, and I cut this way too long. Come on, there, like that. I was just going to do tails, but because I've got it so long, I'll do a bow here. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Lisa from Wisconsin. Hi, Kathy. Let's see, what else is going on? My dog has had an ear infection, so she's on medication for that. I didn't think she felt good today. She's a golden doodle. If anybody is on that has a golden doodle, I just love her to pieces. All right, that's a little loose, so I'm going to anchor that down. And, okay. So, we're going to adhere, just put adhesive on just the top, the back of the top part of this, because it's only going to be adhered to this top layer here. So I'll go ahead and do that. I think I want some on the ribbon there. And we'll lay that on there like that. Does anyone that's watching have this bundle? Oh my goodness, Melanie, you left was, oh, long 4-day drive. That is a long drive. Okay, so this is gonna sit on here like this. All right. Now let's see what we've got. Now I used the base die to die cut this beautiful die out, or the base. And I'm gonna adhere on my card front here. I'm gonna use some dimensionals for that. And if you order with me and place an order to get the kits for this class, you will also get the PDF tutorial for it. All right, so we've got our beautiful vase. We're gonna layer it right here, and I'm putting it towards the bottom of the card here because of the flowers that the bouquet we're gonna have in our vase. I'm gonna grab a glue dot to anchor that bow down. Okay, and okay, so that's anchored down. Now let's get these flowers also are just die cut out. You can stamp the image. The image is in the stamp set, that flower's in the stamp set. But I really love the color of these flowers with this particular paper I have. This isn't gonna show, I'm gonna tear that right off. This flower is going to be in the background, so I am going to just add this with some glue, like that. And then this flower here, I want it to look like it's coming up out of the vase, so I'm going to cut some of the stem off here, and I'm going to layer it on with a couple of dimensionals, here and here. Okay, so that way it looks like it's coming out of the vase. Now let's do our sentiment. This is a die cut in that set, and I'm gonna heat emboss it with gold metallic embossing powder, and I've got my little embossing buddy here. You want to do that. Oops, you don't want to bend it. You want to do that first. Just to, it keeps the embossing powder from going places you don't want it to go on your paper. And there's a thank you sentiment here. It says, thanks for helping me through the difficult times. Something like that. I just want the thanks. So I'm just going to cover I'm just going to cover the bottom part of it right here. Like that. I'm going to ink that up. And stamp the thanks on there. And take that off that. I'm bringing in my embossing tray. It already has metallic gold powder in it, because that's what I've been doing today. I was using that, and I'm just gonna run that in there like that. And I've bent this. Now you can see there's a little bit of gold along the edge. I'm just going to take a brush, and there's a brush that comes in this set with the tray and the embossing buddy and the tweezers that I was using, but I'm not sure where it is. So this is a different brush. Okay, so I just want to brush that powder off there. And we're going to use this to hold. And I'm going to turn this on. Oh, thank you, Lisa. And you can heat from the front or the back. And you can see where I bent the cardstock, but I think it'll be okay once we get it on the card. Okay. All right. So I've got something on that. I'm going to add this to the front of the card like this. So I'm going to add adhesive here and a dimensional behind this part of the tag right here. And then we'll add liquid glue on this end because it's already popped up because it's on the vase that's popped up. Okay, so we've got our, whoops. Our label is sticking out over the edge a little bit. Now I like that look. And I'm going to grab the gems. Let's add some gems to this. You lost your sound. Oh, I hope it's not me. Can everybody else hear me okay? I'm sorry you lost your sound, Lisa. And we'll add maybe one here and another one up here. So that is card number 1, and you can put a piece of, I put a piece of designer series paper across the inside here. You could stamp the flower and color it in. So that's card number 1. This is card number 2, and I used the Regal Foil Designer Series paper with this, as I really liked this pattern with, this is just basic beige with basically touches of gold. It's a note card, okay, and I've embossed the edges, and I'll show you how to do that. The flowers are, they're in the designer series paper, and there's a flower die. This is the flower die right here, and you can just cut them out. They're in this sheet here with the vases, so you can just die cut them out, or there's a stamp, you can stamp them either way. Okay, so this card, I've already, to save time, I've already done the embossing on the edge of my card base. This is 8.5 by 5.5 basic beige, and I'll show you how I did this. I just ripped the edge and then pressed it onto the Versamark ink pad and put the gold embossing powder on it. So I have another layer that's embossed with the embossing folder, the joined together embossing folder. And that is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tear, and this is 5.5 by 4 1/4, and I want to tear it so probably start right about here. And when you're tearing, you want to tear toward yourself, and I just kind of use my left index finger to kind of guide along where I'm going with that tear line. We'll go like that. And then this is a little wider than I want it here, and I'm just going to tear this a little bit. Okay, and so we've got this look here. And I'm going to go in just a little bit down here too. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, so, and that is, it doesn't have to be straight. You can see that's a little crooked and it kind of goes in farther here than down below, and that's okay. So we're going to take the Versamark here, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to figure, I'm going to go in like this far on this pad, and I'm just pressing that cardstock on there on the ink. All right, so you can see the line of ink there, and I'm just going to go like this. And tap that off. There's a little bit up here that I don't want on there. There we go. And we'll heat emboss this. I think everything else that's heat embossed tonight I've already done just to save time. But I did want to show you this. Because it does take a little bit, you've got quite a bit of embossing powder on here and a larger area than normal. So it does take a little longer to do it. And I'm just going to go along the back here a little bit. Okay. Good enough. Thanks, Lisa. All right, and I'm going to glue this on. I'm going to put it on straight, like that. It's just a different look, something a little bit different. And I'm going to line it up with this edge here. Okay, so that's our front. And I've used the Stylish or the Nested Essentials dies to die cut that from that Regal foil paper. I've used the largest one here. These are the nested essentials. And I am going to adhere this to the center of the card. And this, I don't have a sentiment on the front of this. I just like it. It's just too busy, I think. So we're going to put that right there. And then we have our little, I've already embossed this, our little bowl or vase. I'm going to add this with some dimensionals. Okay, I'm going to set that right there. And then our flower is already embossed too. This one I stamped with the Versamark, added the gold embossing powder, and I actually might, I think I will try adding dimensionals to that. Okay, so maybe not so, maybe more like that. Okay, and then if you wanted to, you could add a ribbon to it. I did not. Oh, we need a piece of the Regal Designer Series paper along that edge, or you can leave it like that. I like it on there, so I believe this is 1 inch by 5.5. You could go 1 1/4 by 5.5. And so that is card number 2. Here's the other one. This one, I did the edges a little closer. This is one edge and this is the other. I kind of like the look of this. So, same card, but a little bit different. I want to show you guys that album really quick that I'm going to do the class for. Hi, Cynthia. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Hi, Martha. Hi, Debbie. So this is the album I've got an upcoming class with. I haven't advertised it yet. This is a great album for family pictures, mementos, Bible verses. It opens like this. And we'll start with the top here. This little tag comes out. Trying to think of the stamp set. Then there's these little flaps to put your pictures or verses, sayings, whatever you would like there. Okay, these are from that blue, I can't think of the name of it. It's a blue kit. It's a kit. So this bottom part has this tag here that comes out, and then this opens up like this. I don't know if I can get this whole thing in the picture, but I'm just showing you. I'll show you, this is the center section here. And this is from that kit too. And you can see I'm using the Kintsugi Designer Series paper with this. This says Better Together. And then you have all these flaps to put pictures in. Here's a pocket here. This closes like this. And then the bottom section here, this is from the kit. So it opens like this. And then you've got, I don't know if you guys can see, probably you can't, but let me move it over a little. you've got these long flaps coming out on either side here. Watch, because I'll be advertising this class. It will probably be 2 nights, an hour each night. The first night we'll put the basic kit together, and the second one will be decorating. So if you're interested in that, just shoot me an email, verna@stampinnotes.com. It's really special. It'll be a nice wedding album, or I'm going to use it for personal pictures. So I'm excited about doing that. Okay, back to our third card here. Thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Crystal. All right, our third card. So we're going to start with, we have a piece of designer series paper that's 10.5 by 4. And we are going to fold this in half, or you could score it at 5 1/4. All right. And then we have a card base that is 5 1/4 by 4 1/4, not 5 1/2. 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. If you want an edging around the top and bottom, you would do 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. But I like it this way. So this is, the base is Knighted of Navy 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. All right, and we're gonna adhere. Hi, Shar. Hi, Mom. I can't believe it's August either, Cynthia. It is like fall will be here around the corner. It's like, oh my word, I can't believe it. It's still pretty warm here. And it's going to be hot this week, but I don't know. Time flies. All right, so we've got that done. And, oh, I forgot to, no, I didn't forget. We're going to wrap a piece of ribbon around this. What did I do with the ribbon? I'm looking. Oh, here it is, hiding under dimensionals. Okay. So I want about that much. I'm going to cut that on the slant. And this is that gold, it's mesh ribbon, gold something mesh ribbon. And we're just going to tie this around here, about halfway up. Thanks for sharing, Shar. Oh, if you guys share this week, you'll be put into a drawing for this Pick a Season stamp set. Really cute set. And you can put eggs or roses, shamrocks, hearts. There's a fence. Never used, brand new. It's from Celebration. So if you share, you'll be put into a drawing for that this week. Nancy Bankert won for the one for last week. I really appreciate you guys sharing. All right, so this one we're just going to tie tails on. The other one I did a ribbon. Let's just do tails. And as you can see, I have it way too long, but I'd rather have it way too long than too short. So we've got our little tails here. Your ribbon will come in your kit if you place an order with me this week. You get the kits to make one of each of these projects. You will need the bundle to finish them, or another stamp set of your own. If your order is $75 or more, you will get the gems included. Okay, so I've die cut a circle with the largest stylish shapes die from gold foil, and I embossed it with the embossing folder, the joined together 3D embossing folder. And I'm going to pop it on here with dimensionals. Mom, you love to watch me tie bows. Thanks for sharing, Debbie. All right, so let's get these dimensionals on here. My husband and I have to go down and check my son's garden tonight and see what needs to be picked and watered. Okay, so we're gonna center this right here on the card like that. And again, I've die cut a vase. We're gonna put this vase on here. And then also a small dish or small vase right there like that. So I'm going to add both of these on with dimensionals. And you can stamp your vase. There's a vase stamp in the set. I love the designer series paper. Okay, and let's see, I don't want it over that far. Oh, look at that. I've never had that gold foil do that. Like the top layer moved up. Huh, interesting. And then we're going to add dimensionals to this. I know, it is for sure. The stylish shapes dies. They're just so basic and great to use. So there's our vases. And let's add our flowers to our vases. We're going to add one up here. And I want it to look like it's coming out of that vase. So I'm going to add it like that. Okay, so here's our top vase flower. We'll add it like that. And then we need one here. And these are die cut from the designer series paper. This one, we're going to do the same thing. I'm not sure if I like this piece embossed or not. I'll show you the other card where it's just plain. I kind of like the plain, I think. All right, so we've got that like that, and then there's these two die cuts. This is, I die cut it from the gold foil, and I use the adhesive paper on the back, or you can just use glue. But the adhesive paper is just so easy to pull off and without, especially with foil, because if you get glue on the foil, it's kind of messy. All right, so I'm just going to add this here. Cross that like that. And for some reason, that's not sticking the way I want it to. And then there's another die cut. Another die. I don't know what I did with it. It fell on the floor or it's under something. And it cuts a small shape like that. And we're going to add that to the bottom. And I've got to poke these out. I can't wait to show you how to make those little kimono cards. They're next. And they're so easy. So much fun to make. Okay, so this one I am going to use glue. I'm just going to use a couple dots of glue. And I left some of the centers of those little flowers in place there. Thanks, Cynthia. All right, so we have a little, it's the second smallest Stylish Shapes die circle, and we're going to add our sentiment here. I probably should have moved this down just a little bit, but it'll be okay. So this says, "You inspire me," and it will fit. I'm using Night of Navy ink. We'll stamp that right on there. We'll add a couple dimensionals to the back. Okay, we'll add that like that. And I'm going to add, because I've stamped this down so far, I'm going to add a gold dot there. I should have centered it up a little bit. So we'll just add that like that. And then for the inside, oops, look, I twisted my ribbon. I'll have to fix that. For the inside, I just cut Stylish Shapes, use the Stylish Shapes die to cut our banner shape. And I can write a little note and sign on this. And this is cloud cover cardstock. Just like that. Thanks, Lisa. All right, so how can I fix this? I can put a piece of designer series paper layered inside here to cover that. I really shouldn't cut that probably, so that's probably what I'll do. Here is this one. See, I have the circle down farther. So you move your circle down farther. And it's solid. I think I like it solid and not embossed better than the embossed one. Okay, so let's take a look at these little kimonos. I just thought they were so cute. Karen Titus made these, and that's where I get the inspiration from. These are little cards. And you could put, these would be so cute with like a bag of tea in them. And they open like this, and there's a little piece of cardstock in there for a note. But isn't that adorable? And wait till you see how easy they are to make. So we'll put the little belly band back on. Slide it back on like that. Here's one in a different pattern of the same paper. Okay. So this is how you make that. And I did not, I know this is how you make it, and I don't have the designer series paper here. Hang on a minute. Oh, I don't know what I did with it. Okay, we're gonna cut another piece. All right, so we need a piece that's 8.5 by 5.5. And let's use this, okay? So we're gonna go 5.5. Yeah, I had it all ready. I had the little card insert ready. And 8.5. All right. Okay, so now we're going to score this on the long side on each end, and we're going to score it at 2 1/8, so it's the second small line after the 2. Okay, and then I'm going to do it on the other end at 2 1/8. We're not quite done with the trimmer, so we want to fold this in. What do I want on the outside? I think I'll go with the blue on the outside. All right, and we're going to fold each end where we scored it. This designer series paper is a little heavier, so you don't have to worry as much about ripping it. All right, so here's how we make the shape. Let me just burnish that down. Let's bring our trimmer back in. I'm going to put the end that I want the top of my card at 2 inches. Okay, so that's at 2 inches. And I'm going to cut down to 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to come back up here. Here's 3/4 of an inch. If you have your trimmer, and what I did was I put white tear and tape behind here so I could see the numbers easily. and you don't take the backing off, but that's a hint. Put your white tearing tape, a whole strip of it down here if you haven't, and then you can see these numbers better. Okay, so we're going to go down to 3/4 of an inch, right, which is right here. We're cutting. And you can see there's a little notch right here, so match that up to 3/4 of an inch. We're going to flip it over and do the other side. We're putting this at 2 inches, and we're going down to 3/4 of an inch. All right. So now what we're going to do is the lower part, not this upper part, these are going to be our sleeves. We're going to go right to the end of that line that we cut, and we're going to fold this in all the way down. Now make sure that you go all the way to the end and fold it down, because I didn't on one of mine, and it was like huge, the body of it. And I was like, what is wrong with this? And I cut the belly band, and it didn't fit. So you want to make sure you don't fold it here. You want to go all the way over to the end of your cut line there and fold it over, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to open our card up, and we're going to just push this inside. Push the fold to the inside here. And that's how you make the kimono. So push that fold to the inside. Don't worry about this up here. When you fold it over, it'll be fine. And there is our little kimono. So we just have to do the collar. So I'm just going to put my finger where I want the bottom of the collar and fold that over like that. And the same thing on, oops, I ripped that. So let's, there. I ripped it a little bit. Don't rip it. And the same thing here, okay? So there is our collar. Let me see if I can fold this over and hide that maybe. Not really. So now let's make the belly band. So the belly band, we need a strip that's 1 inch by 7 inches. And I'm going to use the same color cardstock. I'm going to cut a strip that's 1 inch here. And we'll make it, it's about 7 inches. All right, and I'm just going to take it and wrap it around, not super tight, because you want to be able to slide it on and off easily. So I'm going to fold it about right there and pinch it, and then about right here. And pinch it. Now I've got to fold that in a little more. About right there. And you can see I've got this super long, so I'm going to trim off one of these flaps. Like that. And I'm just going to add adhesive a little bit here on this. Thanks, Debbie and Nancy. All right, so these would be really cute, I think, for like a tea, or I don't know, they're just so sweet. All right, now on the back of this, I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape. Got it right here to hold our ribbon, which is going to be our sash. And I'm going to grab that ribbon, and you want, I think I had a fairly long piece so I can tie a bow. This looks like about 12 to 15 inches, maybe 12 inches. We'll take that backing off. I'm going to fold this, let's see here, like there's the center. So I'm going to put my center right there, and we'll slide this on. Actually, we can tie it without sliding it on. You can do it in the center or on the side, either one. And then we'll do our bow. Anybody have any other ideas you could use these for? Just a cute note. And you can see I got this too short, so I'm having trouble doing my bow. You could just tie tails too. Okay. All right, that'll work. And then we're going to cut these short. And we'll slide this back on. So the piece for the inside, I think, was like 1 7/8 by 3 1/4. Your white piece for the inside there. And I've got this a little snug. And I think it's because my ribbon is pulling on it. Let's try this. I think I tied the ribbon too tight. Nope, I just have it tight. All right, don't get your sash too tight. Here we go. Nope, that is just too tight. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to do another one. Sorry to hold you up. Well, anyways, you've seen how to do it. Well, I'll do it. I'll finish it. I hate not finishing something. So we're going to do 1 inch. By about 7. After all that, and it's too tight. Okay, let's bring this baby back in here. Gently, carefully fold. Gently, carefully fold like that. All right. And I think I'll leave it right on there like that. And I'm going to cut some of this off. Straight. I can hear a lawnmower going. I'm guessing my husband is mowing. You're welcome, Cynthia. Okay, we'll move this up like that. And then I'll put the ribbon on. Looking for my tear and tape, which I just found. Put that on there. And I think I did say that Karen Titus with Back Porch, Stamping on the Back Porch, this was her, this is what she shared. I think that's too short. Oh, that's what I had before. We're gonna go with it. All right, so that's on there. We'll bring our little ribbon around. Verna has it too short. Okay, there we go. So that is how you make that little kimono card. So we've got that one and this one. And we had this one right here. And then for our cards, we had this one and that and this one. So you guys, thanks so much for being with me tonight. I enjoyed the time with you and appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of the week and have a good evening tonight. Take care now.